Hey guys, Mecha Knight here. Now, I've recently been playing a game I ain't played for a while. Super Kirby Clash. It's a pretty underrated game in my opinion, so today I'm making a video on it. An idea for a sequel. Super Kirby Clash 2. I tried to come up with a more creative name, but I just couldn't think of one. I'll get onto the story later in the video, but for today we're going to be designing 2 new classes that your Kirby can be, and 2 new enemies. So let's get into this enemy first. Now, as you know, in the first game, there are 2 types of dragon enemies you commonly face. The Ice Dragon and the Electric Dragon. Now, I'll be honest, the only reason I made this is, dragons are cool. Who doesn't like dragons? And also, I feel like I just need to round out the elements a bit. 3 is a nice, rounder number than just 2. Now, they are basically just dragons with elements, but when you think of classic elements, you're probably thinking of 4. Fire, water, earth, air. Now, the regular Super Kirby Clash does like to repeat enemies just with different skins, basically things like Venom, Krakow, Ice Dragon, Electric Dragon, so I thought I might as well at least do 1 in this episode. But when you think about it, Electric and Ice, you'll probably have them, but when you think about them, they aren't the classic elements. So I tried to go with another element, and I want exactly a classic for this one, so I went with, Poison. So this is Poison Dragon. Notice how the main thing that changes is, the patterns, the colours, the sail on the back, and the tail. So that's what I decided to change with this one. I imagine it would have lots of, ground-type attacks. It would be a very, fast and sporadic boss. Moving around very quickly and stuff. So I think that would be cool. And, let's be honest, in the game, you get things where you get, quadruple, team-up games. So imagine triple dragon team. I mean, that just sounds sick. Since, as I said earlier, Super Kirby Clash does have a bit of a problem with reusing enemies, this time I wanted to make an original enemy. I noticed how a lot of the enemies are kind of just big, scary animals, and sometimes with elements. Things like Hornhead, or things like that. So I decided to make Plasmagator. This is kind of an electric alligator, but I went with more realistic electricity, so instead of being yellow, I made it blue and purple, just to differentiate it from Thunder Dragon. So also we got this speed paint going in the background, I think it's about time I tell you about this game's story. Now, I'll be completely transparent, I actually ain't beaten Super Kirby Clash, but I've got to the part with King D Mind and a bit further, so I know that you probably beat Harlow, Nightmare, and, free everyone, basically, and he stops making monsters. My idea is that he doesn't come back, but the people from Kirby's Forgotten World come to this world, and then they realise that, they find one of Parallel Nightmare's armours or something, and they're able to use that to make clone Parallel Nightmare, and it's not, a manifestation of evil or something like other Kirby bosses, but it's a machine, so its only goal is to summon monsters. I think that'd just be cool. It ties in a bit more of the Kirby games. Overall, this is a pretty cool, enemy. I think it would have lots of, charge-up attacks, it would charge up for a while, then release a massive attack that covers half screen. A bit like some of Krakow's attacks. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this one. Still think I need to work on, the Super Kirby Clash style. But, let's get on to the new Kirbys. Now, I started making this video before the Switch 2 announcement, but it recently got released. And since it's going to have, probably much better systems than the Switch, it'd probably be able to run the game a lot better. And so, in the original, you can play 4 Kirbys against the boss at a time. For this one, I had to up that number. I thought 8 would get a bit chaotic, but I still wanted to keep it a nice round number, so I went with 6. Now, in the original game, there's also 4 classes for the 4 people, even though you don't have to do each one a different class. You've got Sword Kirby, Hammer Kirby, Dr. Kirby, and Magic Kirby, and I think there's a nice balance there, but I wanted to make 2 more to fit in. This is Force Field Kirby. Similar to Dr. Kirby, I wanted to go a bit more like a buffer or a healer. It's not exactly a healer per se, but what it does is its main attack is just thrusting its spear, but its charge-up attack that all of them have is it charges up like this orb that it throws, a bit like the mage, And if it just charges up once, then it'll give you a slight attack boost. If it charges up twice, it'll give whatever Kirby it hits a defense boost. And if it charges up 3 times, anything it hits get a defense and attack boost. I don't know if that's the way to do it. Maybe I should do it where, like, you just give it to everyone on the field, but I don't know if I'd be overpowered. Leave your suggestions in the comments. On to our next Kirby video, which might be my favourite. This next one is Crossbow Kirby. I noticed how in the original game there's not that many ranged Kirbys. I suppose the closest one is Mage, but that's only real with a charge up attack. So I wanted to do a mainly ranged one. So for his first attack, he shoots an arrow short distance, and you can charge it up to shoot an arrow further, and it could even shoot like multiple arrows at once. Like you charge it up, it goes from 1 to 2 to 3 flaming arrows at once, a bit like young Link in Smash. I think that would be a cool idea. You might notice how I made these ones red and grey, even though those colours aren't in the original game, but all the Kirbys are different colours in the original game to help you distinguish them, so I thought these 2 colours would make sense to add. Leave a like if you like this game concept. Honestly, I've probably got a few too many game concepts going on at the minute with, like, Gloria Region, this, and Chess Origins now, but I'll deal with it. Anyway, see you in the next one.